Welcome back to Cypher's invasion of Phoenix City. So, it's time to fight the Justy gang now. Just to reiterate, all 6 of them are optional. You can go straight into the pre-gym and that will progress the story. But I want to show all of these fights. So, one cool detail about them though is that at the 3 exits to the city, the member of the Hexagon Brothers who's there corresponds to Rosso, Verde, and Bluto. The member of the Hexagon Brothers who's there at that entrance corresponds to Rosso, Verde, and Bluno from Colosseum. So, you might remember, Rosso was here in Colosseum, so this will be Resix. So, I've set up my team accordingly, prepared for fire types, let's go. Breaking character there for a second. So, yep, they're the Hexagon Brothers, of course. So yeah, Blue 6 is down on the bottom exit, and Grease 6 is over near the mayor's house. So I'll be doing them first, because, like I said, they all correspond to Rosso, Verde, and Bluno from Colosseum, so it's easy to know where they all are, and thus, if you figure that out, it's easy to prepare a team against them. Anyway, let's see. I'm going to just bite the Slugma and Water Pulse the Numel. There is no way this Numel is surviving. And Resix still only has 2 Pokemon. I'm pretty sure that they will have their Shadow Pokemon here if you didn't snag them in the first fight. There's some of the few Shadow Pokemon that don't go to Mirror B for that reason. But I've never not snagged the Shadow Pokemon in the first encounter with the Hexagon Brothers, so I'm not sure if that's true or not. So correct me if I'm wrong. Oh yeah, you have rock moves, I forgot about that. But it's really not that useful for you because you're still pathetically weak with them. Your attack stat is not all that good. And even your defense isn't that good. It gets better when you evolve, but then you become Fire Rock and you become 4 times weak to water, just like your Numel brethren that just kind of went down there. And actually, something about my team that I just noticed that I just kind of want to point out after this fight. Well, yeah, comic relief villains, the hero usually is their worst nightmare because they constantly foil their plans. Every time you defeat one of the Hexagon Brothers here, again, they're all optional, but they'll leave behind an item. This is a battle CD. I'm going to hold off on picking them up until the post-game, just so I can show getting all the battle CDs at once. But these are battle CDs, and you get one for defeating each of the Hexagon Brothers. Or you can just complete this area, and they will be gone, and you can pick up their battle CDs then. So, I wanted to show this in my team here, so you might want to look at this. Leviatine has 14,500 each experience in total. Fish Slayer has more, because she's in the slower experience group. Ricky has a very small amount of experience, because he's in the fluctuating group, but levels up very fast early on, but slower later. Orson is also roughly the same as Leviatine. Flaffy is kind of similar to Breloom, but the fluctuating experience group wasn't introduced until Gen 3, so I'm guessing that you're in the fast experience group. And Lyra is about the same as Fish Slayer, so basically, I have 2 Pokemon that level up quickly, 2 Pokemon that are average, and 2 Pokemon that level up slowly. Kind of weird how that worked out. Anyway, this is going to be Greasix, so it almost looks like he's talking to that lady there. So I'm going to want to prepare myself for grass types. There are some that are part poison, so I might as well go with Lyra here. Hello, you. I know you're Greasix. And you, are still obsessed with the word sixfold, so I know you're Greasix even more. Also, he said we're not just bit players. That is pretty much what they are, especially since you can just skip all of these fights if you want to. Yep, I called it. One of them is part poison, so I'm going to go ahead and confusion that. And the Cacnea will be the unlucky one because it's going to be eating a Fire Blast. Even though that's completely unnecessary, but it's fun to do that. Sandvale. Well, if you use Sandstorm, that'd be kind of funny, but I don't think you will. Wow, 5 for 5 with the Fire Blast here. I'm getting really lucky with this. See, normally I don't like using Fire Blast in competitive. I said this back in Colosseum because I have terrible luck with Fire Blast. Weirdly, I have more luck with Hydro Pump than I do with Fire Blast, and Hydro Pump has 5 less accuracy. But I mean, it helps that with most Pokemon that get Fire Blast also have higher accuracy alternative options, whereas there are some Pokemon that get Hydro Pump that don't get anything else. Like, for example, Salamence gets Hydro Pump, but it doesn't get Surf. Also in double battles, Hydro Pump is one of the few single target special water moves you have access to. Well, I'm into the skulls, but I don't know. Now, let's see. I guess I'll Fire Blast you and I'll Confusion the Lost Head because, well, one thing on the field is weak to Fire Blast. Might as well Fire Blast that thing. And Greasix still has a lot of Pokemon, but they're still all very, very low levels. So I'm not going to be getting much experience in this fight. Well, actually, I might, because it balances out the sheer number that he has. And he still has a Pineco, still keeping with the TCG grass types, / just green Pokemon in general. And it is not a Shadow Pokemon, because we already got a Shadow Pineco. For the first time, one of your Pokemon actually survived. And you're spending your time surviving very productively, sarcasm, sarcasm, by using Astonish. I don't even know why Astonish exists. It's just, it's a terrible move. And I don't know why even... Wow, I have hit every Fire Blast so far! I guess Flareon really wants to prove that it isn't useless. Now that I think about it, that is one advantage of having Flareon, because, like, let's say, if you've got Jolteon, you have Thunder now, but Thunder has less accuracy, and if you have Vaporeon, well, the best you've got is Blizzard, and that's not same type attack bonus. And if you have Espeon or Umbreon, well, you don't even have any Super TM moves at this point, so Flareon actually gets the best one, and that's kind of cool, because it really needs every advantage it can get. And he's gone. I like how you actually get to see them run rather than just vanishing. So anyway, next up is Bluesix, who is down here. So let's prepare for water types. Actually, Lyra and Flaffy are my best bet since I got rid of Ricky's grass moves. I wish Seed Bomb existed here. Well, I mean, it'd be special, so it wouldn't really help. But anyway. Yeah, he's not quite at the exit. He's actually over here. Hi there. No you don't. This guy doesn't have the best Justy impersonating dialogue, though. That's another one of the Hexagon brothers. But he's still got pretty weak water types, so this shouldn't take too long. Let's just zap all these fish. I forget which one has lower special defense out of Horsey or Goldeen. I may have said this before, but I usually don't... Okay, that's actually potentially useful if you use Rain Dance, but you probably won't. For some reason, I feel like Goldeen tends to be the bulkier one, so I'll go for that. Let's see if I'm right. But yeah, I may have said this before, I usually don't bother memorizing the base stats of unevolved Pokemon unless they're good with Eviolite, but... Yeah, that's why sometimes it surprises me when some of them have drastically different stats in their evolved forms. Like, something that I didn't find out until looking at some of Maryland's Pokemon reviews recently. I didn't know that Slowpoke is much more physical-based than its evolved forms. It's weird, like, it has a higher attack stat than it does special attack, considerably. Which you wouldn't expect since both of its evolved forms are special-based. Anyway, he just sent out a Beldum, so continuing the theme of only having, well, of having Pokemon that are the same color rather than the same type. Yes, in this guy's post-game rematches, he does have Metagross, so you'll want to watch out for that. Obviously not using Confusion here, because I'd be double not very effective on it. A lot of people have said that Beldum's damage animation is funny because it looks like it's glitching out. It looks like it's stuck in a wall and it's just vibrating repeatedly. But I mean, it is, like, Metagross is said to be as smart as a supercomputer, so maybe it is glitching out. Anyway, I usually don't have Lyra up to this high of experience at this point. And you're still calling people uppity brats. Don't know why, that's just kind of a funny insult. Well, yeah, when you get serious, you'll have a Metagross, and that is bad consequences. And yet another Battle City, I'll be coming back for that much later. So for now, we only have one more member of the Justy gang left in the main city, and I will also be using Lyra for this. Who else will I use here? I guess I'll go for Orson. Because this guy, let's see. This is my favorite bit of the dialogue, by the way. I wonder what he means by that. Does he mean that all of them know him personally, so they wouldn't want anything to do with him? Or just because he already knows them? And if that's the case, then why doesn't he try dating them if he already knows them? Anyway, enough on the dating lives of Cypher Peons, which sounds like a very, very weird or a region reality show. That's kind of cool, but I doubt it'll see any use. Let's go for Grimer as the lower physical defense. Let's go for Confusion on the Coughing. That is kind of fun to say. Wonder if the Coughing will be using Smog. Because for some reason, just James's coughing / wheezing used that all the time in the anime. It was just like, it didn't use anything other than Smog. But that coughing is down now. It's too low of a level to have had self-destruct anyway, so I didn't need to worry about it very much. And what we got coming in next? Tentacool, which actually has very good special defense, so I don't think I'll be able to one-shot with Confusion. Well, at least that's not 2 stages of evasion in this gen. Still annoying, though. In fact, it doesn't even matter. I'm going to Shockwave you. Tentacool is also pretty fast. The shot of acid travels pretty slowly in this game. Oh yeah, it does hit both targets. And the defense lowering is helpful when it's still physical. But yes, aha! I can ignore your evasion boost with my Shockwave. So it actually is kind of useful for a few reasons. I still recommend replacing with Thunderbolt later, though. Just the off chance that your opponent is going to use Double Team or Minimize is not really worth the sacrifice in power in the late game. Now, will this one-shot? Oh, okay, also, Return has reached 4 hearts, which means that I can probably remove the Soothe Bell now. I should do that after this battle so I get a chance to pick up items. And Zubat snaps into the middle, and it is soon about to be destroyed. However, it's probably going to go first. No, it's... Wow, you're faster than a Zubat? Admittedly, Zubat's stats are all pretty terrible, so it's kind of understandable, but still, I mean, the Zubat line is kind of famed for its speed. I mean, I am 5 levels higher, but still. And, well, if the ladies are watching, they're not going to like you anymore now. You might be wondering, though, where are the remaining 2 members of the Justy gang? I thought so at this point, too. It turns out they're actually both in the mayor's house. The good news is, you don't have to fight them both back-to-back, but they are, obviously, Brow 6 and, Yellow 6, and Brow 6 doesn't use ground types now. In fact, he's actually kind of weak to electric moves. Also, he's kind of weak to Ricky, so I'm going to go ahead and send Ricky in here. So, let's finish off the Justy gang. Of course, well, I mean, you already ruined your cover the moment that all 6 of you decide to impersonate the same guy. Yeah, that was a pretty bad plan. Especially when the real one isn't even among you. These guys are still pretty funny sometimes. Yes, you are. You're doing a great comedy show, and, I am enjoying it thoroughly. Oh, it's Yellow you fight first. It's kind of disturbing now that I think about it. But no, you will not silence me. I shall defeat you, Yellow 6. Actually, having Breloom here isn't bad, because Breloom's resistant to electric. I still wish that Chinchou was a Shadow Pokemon earlier. A Shadow Chinchou / Lantern would be kind of a cool concept. It would mean that if I was using it for an electric type, I wouldn't really be able to use, Kavana, but still. I kind of have to body slam someone. Don't think this is going to one-shot. Well, that will. Oftentimes I say that and then I get a critical. Tasting my own medicine, I guess. Because normally I'm the one who inflicts random statuses. Okay, I'm actually glad that I have Breloom for this one. Well, I can't really call you stupid for doing that, because you had no way of predicting that Static was going to activate. Unless you used your AI Psychicness. But yeah, I, at one point, was vaguely considering using Thundershock on that Chinchou, and then I realized, wait, no, that's a terrible idea, it could have Volt Absorb. I mean, it can have Illuminate as well, but Volt Absorb is the one you really want on that. Volt Absorb makes it one of the few Pokemon at this point in the series to actually resist the Bolt Beam combo. I think the Magnemite line is the other one. I'm surprised I'm doing this much with Body Slam, though. Or does Chinchou just have really... Oh, no, I think I just got a really good damage roll on the first one, because that did a bit less. But anyway, I'm just going to Mach Punch you, and, Nah, I was gonna say, like, just to test to see if maybe you have Volt Absorb, but it's not worth the risk. Especially not when I'm gonna render that moot by KOing you this turn anyway, before I get a chance to attack with Flaffy. Speaking of which, Flaffy has now leveled up. I still haven't thought up a good name for Flaffy, though. Because someone suggested Jenny, because, you know, she looks kind of like a sheep, but this one's male. I was thinking Janice for a second, like, what's the closest thing to a male equivalent of the name Jenny? Because I don't know if it really fits being named after a Tales of Symphonia character. Well, you've suddenly become nice all of a sudden. So, you might think you have to fight these two back-to-back, you actually don't. He just wants to be left alone. Unfortunately, we're going to be a jerk and fight him anyway. And let's see, I've got a few things that are level 24. Let's just go for Orson. And I'm going to stay paralyzed on Ricky, I'm sorry, but I don't want to waste any healing items. Yep, last member. Let's fight. Cypher Peon, Brow 6. And, as you'll find out here, he doesn't specialize in ground types anymore. In fact, he just uses normal types. And also, he no longer specializes in brown Pokemon. That Vigoroth will evolve into a brown Pokemon, but for now, it's not one. So, well, I mean, it does have brown stripes, at least. I may be fully paralyzed a couple of times, but I think that Vigoroth is a higher priority target than the Knockdown. Actually, no. What the heck am I saying? Of course the Knockdown is a higher priority target, because it's gonna hit Breloom with a flying move. I am worried now. Please don't do that. Or, it could just use Tackle. That's, a thing too. Now, Noctowl, if I'm remembering right from my Colosseum bios, has pretty bad defense, so I think Mark Punch is going to do quite a bit of damage. Oh, hey, Orson levels up. Oh, and I forgot to remove the Soothe Bell, dang it. That might seem tempting, but that's special in this generation, so no way. I mean, if it wasn't, then that'd be great because it'd cover ghost types, but no. It is, in fact, special in this gen, so not so useful. I have been fully paralyzed, that's surprising. So yeah, that does quite a lot of damage because Noctowl has pretty weak defenses. And still being stupid and using Tackle. I'm gonna go ahead and heal after this, I'll probably cut that out. Not really feeling the need to talk much about this fight anymore because it's already over. And, really? That is the end of the Justy gang. All 6 of them have been defeated once more. This is all optional, like I said before, but I like doing it anyway. In fact, I think this is the last time you get to fight these guys during the main storyline. So now, there are 2 sparkly things on the floor. As tempting as it is to pick them up, I'm going to leave that for the post-game. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and heal.